Hey there, Seb by the Realtor here. Are you thinking about fixing your Silicon Valley home up before you put it on the market? In this video, I'm going to take a deep dive and show you how one homeowner was able to increase the sale price of their home by 14%. But will it work for everyone, and will it work for you? If you want to know if you can cost effectively fix up your home prior to putting it on the market in Silicon Valley, then you definitely want to watch this video. All right, well, before I get into all that, would you do me a favor? Would you mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? And don't forget, click that little bell to make sure that you get a notification every time I put up a brand new, fun, fact-filled video, kind of like this one. All right, this is a very hot topic. It seems that everybody has seen HGTV and they all have the idea that they can fix up their homes before they sell them, and they'll make a lot more money if they do that. And there are some academic studies out there which say that you can't really do that. For example, like the Journal of Light Construction has this very famous cost versus value report, which shows that just about every home renovation project, just about everyone, is a money loser, almost every single one. And then of course there is the National Association of Realtors. They do a remodeling impact report, and that also shows that basically anything that you spend on your home cannot be recouped when you go to sell your house. But nevertheless, actually you do see people who do make sometimes fairly significant improvements to their homes before they put them on the market, and they are able to more than break even, but actually increase the price of their house above what it cost them to do those repairs. But that again is exactly the opposite of what these two very well-known studies tell you. Well, here's the thing about those two very well-known studies. Again, the cost versus value report from the Journal of Light Construction and the National Association of Realtors remodeling impact reports. The thing is that both of those are averages. So like the average homeowner, it is true, is not able to really boost the sale price of their house beyond the cost of those improvements, generally speaking. But the thing is that not everybody is average. Not every house is average. And I'm going to show you an actual real live example of how a homeowner, I believe, was able to make tens of thousands of extra dollars above the cost when they remodeled their home before putting it on the market. And so what I did in order to find this case study was that I went and I looked in the city of San Jose for all sales in 2024, and I found the median home in San Jose. So the median home is one where half the homes sold for more than this home, and then half the homes sold for less than this home. So this home is right in the middle of all home sales in San Jose, and this home sold for $1.710 million and just over $1,000 a square foot. And this home was turnkey. It was very nicely renovated, and I am going to show you what this person did to their home and how they were able to increase the price. Now, I should say that I am doing some amount of speculation because I was not the listing agent on this home. I don't know exactly what they spent on their renovation. I'm just making an educated guess because I have helped a lot of clients do this kind of work to their homes over the years, and I have a pretty good idea about the kind of money they would have spent to get the kind of result that they did. So without any further ado, let's take a look at this house here. All right, this is a classic single level ranch style house, and just check it out. It is beautiful. They have completely renovated this home. Now, I don't know if they redid the plumbing and the wiring. I don't know if they replaced the roof, although I don't think that they did. It doesn't look like they did, but it does look to me like they replaced just about every surface in this home, right? All new kitchen, all new counters, all new flooring, all new paint. Bathrooms certainly were redone as well. And of course, the backyard, they did a ton of work in the backyard. New fencing, new ramada, new pavers, new landscaping. They really kind of went all out on this house, I think, getting it ready for market. I'm not exactly sure what they did to this house, but I have a pretty good idea just from looking at this, the kind of work that was done and the kind of money that was spent. So let me show you what I think they invested into this house, getting it ready for sale. Okay, so I've divided this up into like 5 separate areas of things they worked on in their house. And the first one is the flooring. I believe they put in basically all new flooring into this house, and they may have had some tile floor in the bathroom, but I'm just counting like the living areas. I think they probably put about $9,000 into flooring for engineered hardwood floors throughout most of the house. And then I do see that they used carpeting, so I'm going to say they probably spent about $3,000 in new carpeting in this house. That's about $12,000 in new flooring. All right, the second set of upgrades is the kitchen update. So they put a lot of money into that kitchen. It came out great. I'm going to say that all those cabinets and the hardware, your drawer pulls and the hinges and all that stuff, I'm going to say installed, those cabinets probably cost around $27,000. And then the counters, I'm guessing that, buying the counters and cutting them and installing them, probably around $8,000. That new backsplash, it's a beautiful backsplash, probably around $3,500. There's a lot of backsplash in there. They also put a new ceiling fan in. I'm guessing that was about $500. They have a nice new exterior kitchen door, that big glass pane in it. I'm going to guess that was about maybe $1,500. Then there's a lot of new light fixtures all throughout that kitchen. I'm going to guess that was about $3,500 installed. And then appliances. The appliances, not a lot of appliances in there, just a microwave, a vent hood, stove, and a dishwasher. I'm going to say that was probably about $2,500 installed. There was no refrigerator there. So that is, I think, what they put into the kitchen. All right, the third group of repairs was for the bathrooms. There are 2 bathrooms, and they were both remodeled. And so I'm going to say that the new shower and tub enclosures, all tiled, all very beautiful. I'm going to guess that was about $15,000 per bathroom. And then the new vanities with the sink and the faucet and all that installed, I'm going to say that was probably somewhere around $1,500 per bathroom. And then other sort of tile work and improvements, maybe some electrical, I'm thinking an extra $3,500 per bathroom, something like that. So that is what I imagined they put into the bathrooms. Now, the fourth set of work they did was the exterior landscaping and the hardscaping. They really did a great job with all of that. I'm guessing that pergola in the backyard, that probably cost them like $5,000, something like that. It's pretty labor intensive. Then the fencing, they put a lot of fencing in there. I'm guessing the fencing probably somewhere around $10,000. Then the plants and the mulch and the sod and all that, I'm guessing probably that was somewhere around $5,000. And then pavers, they put a lot of pavers into that place in the backyard and in the front yard as well. I'm guessing that probably ran somewhere around $20,000 parts and labor. All right, and to top it off, group number 5 is the painting. They obviously painted it, I believe, inside and out. I'm going to say the exterior paint job probably only about $6,000, and the interior paint job probably somewhere around $8,000 for a total of about $14,000. And I'm sure there were many other small things that they did to the property as well. I'm not quite sure what those would have been, but I'm sure they put a lot of work into it. So all these are round numbers, right? So according to my numbers, it looks like they spent somewhere in the neighborhood of about $130,000 in renovations on this property. So the question is what would that house have been worth if they did not do all of that work to it first? And that's a little hard because we don't know, because you can't sell a home twice. Well, you can, but you can't sell it quite the same way twice anyway. So what I did is I went and I looked for a very similar home in the same neighborhood that was sold right around that same period of time. Similar lot size, similar square footage, similar age, all that stuff, as close as I could find it, but one that had not been updated. And so good luck. I did find a house that was very similar to that. I want to take a look at the unimproved property because it's very important to understand that you cannot put this kind of work into every property and have it pencil out. I think that this house probably was in nowhere near as good condition as it was when they put it up for sale. So I'm just imagining. So let me go and show you what this control property, this original property, might have looked like. Again, and this is from a very recent sale in the same neighborhood. This property is very similar lot size, very similar age, very similar square footage, slightly smaller, but I made a little bit of an adjustment for it. Notice no landscaping really on this one. And the inside, it's clean, but not a lot of recent updates have gone into this home. It has some, probably looks like pergo kind of flooring right there. And everything in this house is probably pretty old. I'm guessing that the last time this house had a cosmetic update, look at that kitchen, was somewhere around 30 years ago. And that is very important because I'm going to show you another home that doesn't look like this. And this other home, if you did the same amount of work to it, it would have been a complete and total waste of money. So this other home is actually actually a model match for that home, which sold for $1.71 million. It's the same lot size, same design, same layout, same builder, same everything. And look at this house right here. Now, obviously, much more updated than that last house I showed you, right? Which is what I imagined that the house looked like before it was updated. So there had been a lot of work done to this house, but not especially recently. So, and also, if you probably can't see it here in the video, but if you look closely, you'll see there are a lot of, typical wear and tear kind of cosmetic defects. Also, you can see like the closet there, not an updated closet, probably very original, I think. Somewhat lower grade of improvements overall on this house. But this house, again, same age, same floor plan, same builder, same everything, lot size, same neighborhood. Again, sold in a very, very similar time frame to the subject property, as it were. And the question is, how much did this house sell for versus the brand new, completely updated house, which is exactly a model match? What did this very, very similar but not as nicely or recently updated house sell for? This house right here sold for $1,705,000, right? So this house sold for almost the exact same price as the house which was completely newly, recently renovated house. Only sold for $5,000 less, even though it was nowhere near as recently updated as the subject property. Now, how do I know how long ago this house was updated? Because actually, when you look on the MLS, it actually says this house was newly updated. Well, I got a special surprise for you. Let me show you this. All right, so this house, this very similar house, model match and all that, it was actually previously sold in 2013. And as you can see, the owners who sold it in 2024, they did nothing to the house. It is basically the exact same house. I think they painted the exterior, but we can tell that all the interior treatments, they are from no later than 2013 and probably were from several years before that. So we know that the interior on this one is at least 11 years old and probably more like 12, 13, 14, maybe even 15 years old. But yet, nevertheless, it sells for a very similar price, even though it doesn't have all of that hardscaping and landscaping and the pergola in back, the new fencing and all of that. It lacks all of that, but yet sold for a very similar price to this house, which had been very recently and significantly renovated. And just for fun, I want to take you through the subject property, that $1.71 million house. This is what it looked like in 2015 when the current owners bought it for about $715,000. So what's the lesson that we can learn from all this? I mean, here we have the subject property, which sold for $1.71 million, completely done up. And then this other house, this model match house, very, very similar, exact same floor plan, exact same age, exact same lot size, same builder, same everything, sells for $1.705, only $5,000 less. And that house hadn't been updated in at least 11 years, probably more like 12, 13, 14, possibly even 15 years. And yet they sell for almost the same amount of money. So what can we learn here? We can learn here that if you had a house like that one that sold for $1.705 million, you really would not have made probably any more money if you had done any updates to it at all, because this one that sold for 1.71, that was like top of the neighborhood. There aren't homes which are in better condition in that neighborhood. It's very, very hard to raise the sale price beyond that because the neighborhood just does not support those kind of values. So you were already there. And we can also learn, because those houses were exactly the same, that if they had not spent all that money on the hardscaping of that property, all those pavers and the pergola and the new landscaping and the new fencing, all of that, they spent tens of thousands of dollars on that. If they had just skipped doing all of that work, or at least most of that work, that money would have stayed right in their pocket. But I think it's also clear that they did make some money. They did truly add value. They certainly got more cash out of it than they put into it by doing that renovation work, because I believe that when they started with the house, it was in probably a pretty old, ancient condition that had not really been updated in many years. As we can see from that video when they bought it in 2015, it was in very much original condition. And I don't know if they did all that work right before they sold it, but I suspect they did almost all of that work right before they sold it. And they were able to, again, increase that price significantly and make a profit because the condition was so far below average for for that neighborhood. So if you are thinking about selling your home in the Silicon Valley area and you're wondering, what, if anything, should I do to my house? Well, it really depends on what your house's current condition is and what the condition is of other homes in the neighborhood. And if you are far below that average and you do choose the right projects to do and you don't overspend, you choose the right people to partner with and make sure that they don't charge you too much money, then it is possible to actually add value to your home in such a way that you will end up making a positive return on the investment. And again, in the subject property example, they made like 50% plus return on the investment. So it may make sense for you to do some of that work depending. Now, how do you decide what work that you should do or should not do? And I believe the best way to do that is by consulting with those who know best, which would be realtors. That would be people like, say, me. And if you are thinking about selling your home in Silicon Valley and you're wondering, hey, should I fix my home? What should I do? You definitely would benefit by having a conversation with me. My phone number is here at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead, send me a text message or give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you about your situation, find out what your needs are, what your goals are for the sale, what your timeline is, and then I'll be able to give you the best advice as to what you should do specifically to maximize your cash out at resale. Not necessarily maximize the sale price, but maximize your cash out at resale, because of course it is very easy to overspend, spend too much money and not get as much money out as you could if you do the wrong kinds of work to the property that buyers are just not going to pay for in your neighborhood. And speaking of paying for it, if you do have a house that would benefit from these kinds of renovation projects, but you don't have the money to do this, well, I have a great thing for you. It's called Compass Concierge, where Compass will advance you the equity in your house that you need to make certain targeted improvements to your home before you put it up for sale, so that you may be able to maximize not only the sale price, but the amount of money that comes to you at closing after all fees and costs. So if you are interested in getting some of your equity in your home advanced to you for the purposes of improving your home, making a further investment in your home that will get you a significant return on that investment, perhaps even 50% of the money, which could be worth a lot of money to you, then by all means we can talk further about that as well. Compass Concierge is an amazing program, and it has helped many of my clients to do quite a bit better on the sale of their home, and I would be delighted to speak with you about Compass Concierge as well. Again, my phone number, it's at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead, give me a text message, shoot me a call anytime. I'd love to speak with you about how I can help you make the sale of your home your best move yet. All right, that is all I have for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. And if by some random off chance you did enjoy watching this video, I'm guessing, just a guess, that you might also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do take a look. All right, thank you so very much for watching, and please stay tuned.